Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I built this amazing gift box. I started off by cutting 6 pieces of strips out of 6mm plywood and squared the edges of 6 cedar blocks. Then I glued the cedar between the plywood strips. I purchased all of the wood off Amazon, links will be down in the description. When the glue dried, I cut them in equally long pieces. From the offcut, I took 2 pieces of plywood strips. Those are going to be placed between these blocks. Very important here to make sure all sides are square. This is how the walls are going to be built. As you can see, the cedar is a little bit thicker than the plywood, so I took the blocks to my belt sander and sanded them down to the same thickness. When I was done sanding them, I cut one end of 4 blocks and 2 ends of 2 blocks to a 45 degrees angle on my miter saw. To glue the long walls, I simply used tape to hold them together. I removed the excess glue and waited until it got dry. As a next step, I set my router bit to the thickness of the plywood sheet and the depth to half of the material, 6mm by 3mm to be more specific. Then I routed the bottom part of all 4 sides. I placed a stop block on the miter saw and cut the walls to their final height. Off camera, I also cut the bottom of the box. I sanded everything with 80, 120 and lastly 400 grit sandpaper, then glued the walls to the bottom of the box. I clamped them together in every possible angle and waited for the glue to set. Then I cut the top of the box. I made it 6mm longer on each side. I curved 3 sides of this piece, and using the same router bit, I also curved the 4 corners of the box. To make the colors and details of the wood really pop out, I applied a layer of tung oil on all sides except from the inside of the box, then I waited until it dried. I cut 2 thin layers of foam for the bottom of the box. Thickness of the foam is optional. I had this from a previous project, so I used them. I made sure that the glue is even everywhere to avoid any bumps on the surface. Then I measured the height and length of the walls and cut the fabric to size. I had the measurements of the bottom already, same as the foam I glued previously. I started to glue the fabric to the bottom first, then to the walls. I used my finger to make small adjustments and to smoothen out the surface. To personalize the piece, I engraved the initials of the person into the top of the box using my laser engraver. Then I added a small personal message to the inside of the piece. Lastly, I installed these tiny hinges on the outside of the box. I marked the position, then I moved over to my drill press and pre-drilled tiny holes to be able to put those nails into the wood. I set the depth of the drill bit shorter than the thickness of the wood. I didn't want to use a hammer here to avoid damaging the wood or hinges, so I simply used a ruler and a clamp to press the nails all the way in. As a last step, I gave another layer of tung oil and the box was ready. The result is simply amazing, definitely my favorite project so far. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel, like and share to help the channel grow.